All right, what's up, everybody? Everybody. Oh man, it's oh man. Yeah, there we go. I think that's gonna be my new intro song for a little while. So here we are, Thursday. I
Mm,
gotta do a transition. Where's my transition? There it is. Yeah, guys, welcome to the podcast. I don't know if my stream's working, but who cares? I care. That was a rhetorical question. Yeah, welcome guys, welcome. It's episode 30. Kemp, we've made it to episode 30. Man, who would have thought, man?
I wouldn't have thought. I
Yeah,
thought
dude.
you would have quit by like episode 5.
Nah, yeah, man, not me.
Yeah, man, definitely not me.
Not me.
it's right there.
Yeah, man, that's one of my best friends right there. He thought I was gonna quit at episode 5. That was my motivation.
Damn.
My motivation was to keep going and be like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And guess what?
Uh,
I'm 6 times better
you're
than episode 5.
you're definitely the person that surprises me a lot.
That's fair. I think. Do I? Do I surprise you a lot?
You, you can take that as a compliment or an insult. That's up to you.
That's fine. I'll take it as a compliment because I'm just like I've done many things to surprise people in a bad way. That's just expectations right there. So yeah, what's up, guys? How you guys doing on this Thursday?
Almost to Friday. In quarantine, it doesn't really matter.
Every day
It
is the
kind of
same.
matters. Uh, who's counting?
I am. I'm
I
I'm
am.
I'm counting. It's payday tomorrow. That's why I count. It's payday tomorrow. Speaking of payday, did you guys get your stimulus checks from the government yet?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't qualify for it. And I just took the pay.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
are we not you didn't file for taxes last year or?
Oh, she's too rich.
She makes bank. Do you make
I'm an
bank?
Oh,
I
SF.
have no idea. I'm just saying things.
Where I'm an SF. We are all overpaid, or
oh,
yes, all overpaid, underutilized.
oh.
Oh, that works. But Sherry's the
Yeah,
same
I'm
way,
trying.
actually, isn't she?
That's fair though. Cost of living is very high in SF. So
Yes, very expensive. And then living here, existing in SF is also very expensive.
Oh, I know that feeling too much. Oh, jeez, God, sharing a double in Berkeley and paying 650, 675 for that. Oh, gosh. Yeah, not the best, but livable, I guess. So, anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, that SF. Oh, well, we'll talk about more SF in a little bit, but yeah, cost of living. Oh, geez, it's almost Friday once again, guys. Thanks for coming on. Um, so let's go ahead and get through some quick introductions. Um, the man, the myth, the support, and basically my co-host for the podcast. Camp, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
Nice, nice. A man of few words.
It's Thursday. I mean, I only know it's Thursday because we only do podcasts on Thursdays.
Is
Every
this
other
how
day.
you keep track of your week? It's like podcast. It must be Thursday.
Yeah. This is
Past
like
day.
this is
Yeah.
the fourth. I think it's like the fourth podcast or something. I think since quarantine. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I'm like four since quarantine.
yeah. Alright.
And we have returning guest, fan favorite, Janice, the Church of Peach,
Oh my
the Church
god.
of
Please
Janice.
stop.
How you doing? I'll stop. I'll stop soon. Soon, not yet, but soon.
Preach it.
Preach it, preach it. Yes, Janice. Yes. How you doing, Janice?
Good. Doing good. Doing well.
How's
Just chilling out.
how's
Waiting for Friday.
did you kill that fly that you yelled very obscene things at before the podcast started?
I did. I caught it.
Destroyed
I'm
its.
at peace now.
Oh my god.
Yes. Wait, question. Are you
Yes.
streaming this on Twitch?
Facebook.
I can't find the stream.
Odd. It should be there. Oh, maybe it's not going there. Shit.
Yeah.
Hold
no?
on, 1 second.
Okay.
Someone like chopping something up.
Um.
Oh, that was me. Sorry. I'll mute.
Oh,
Oh, guys.
See, I was so out of it today. Hold on. Un momento, por favor.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, so like I
Oh,
thought, cause I was like, okay, I pressed the start streaming button on OBS. I played the music, I did the transition, and like was figuring out Discord. Then I realized I never pressed go live on Facebook. That's why you couldn't find it.
Oh
That's why
my
I'm
god. Are
sorry.
you gonna
I'm so
do the
sorry.
intros all over again?
No, I'm not gonna do it over again. I have it recorded, so I mean, I have the recording this
oh,
time.
okay.
We have it record. I have everything
Understood.
from the intro
I was gonna tell
recorded.
you, I'm not doing the intro
I'm
again.
not doing the intro again either. If I have to do that's like a whole. That's like a whole
Scripted.
7 minutes of like content. I'm not wasting my time again, dude. Hey, what up, Daniel? Welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you being here. Man, I'm not doing that
Aren't you
intro
glad I
again.
asked that
Hell
question?
no. See, that is. I am very glad you asked that question. I'm like, I can't. Where are you
Very glad,
streaming?
yeah.
Where are you streaming? Facebook? I don't see it. Aha! Aha! Good. Good. I was testing you.
Yeah, okay, sure you were.
And I was also testing myself. So, yeah, there you go. That's good. I mean, like I said, we're not doing the intro again. But good time to introduce this last person, new podcast guest.
Hello.
How you doing, Yoonji? How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. I am calling in Mission Bay, San Francisco. Yeah, just chilling in here with my dog and housemates, hiding this thing out.
You have a dog?
Yeah.
Oh, is it a
I
big
have a
dog, small
Maltese
dog?
here.
Is that
Small
that's
dog, very
that's a
small
small
dog.
one, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The Malteses and
yeah,
whatnot.
the little purse dogs. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say that. I was like, those are the ones in like the movies, right? Always in the purse.
Oh no, yeah, and those are the ones that every Asian family has. The little white dog.
True.
Do you
Oh,
see the subtle?
right. No, I know what you're talking about. I know someone also from Berkeley who has
Uh,
the exact dog you're talking about. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure they're not watching, but if you are, to the Kim family, yeah, shout out. I don't even know if they're a
Unite.
Malteser. I don't even know if it's Malteser. I just know it's a small white fluffy dog.
9 times
um,
out of 10, it will be.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's either them or they have like a big ass dog, and they just all right, honest question. Do you guys know someone who have a dog like that's Asian and names their dog Lychee or Lychee or Mochi
Okay, not
or
lychee.
or
Not
Mochi.
lychee.
okay,
Mochi.
No.
Mochi is one of those?
Boba.
Boba? Okay, how about Haru?
oh, Haru, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, those are like the most common Asian dog names that that I know. I'm just like, I get it. I get it, but at the same time, why?
Everyone,
Yeah, what up?
everyone is naming their dog Boba. There's
What
gonna be
the
5 Bobas
Oh,
at
there
the
you
dog
go.
park.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Robin, welcome to the stream. That's my dog, Mochi. Robin's dog is named Mochi.
Yeah, you just
Was
roast.
it
Sorry to call you out, but I'm just being real here. Like, I'm not telling a lie. So, um, I try to speak truths. So there you go. Anyways, yeah, Yuji, welcome to the podcast. What podcast? Yeah, dude. I don't know why. It's like the letter C is starting to mix with like because I watched ET1 class on Netflix, so it's like class, class, uh,
Chris.
class, ET1 class. Um, yeah. So like I said, episode 30. Here we are, guys. Um, worst dating experiences or stories, whether you've heard it, or from
Yeah.
someone else or you've experienced it. Um, yeah, I'm excited to hear some spicy, maybe not so spicy, that's fine too, stories from you guys and like whatnot. Does that? I'm just gonna leave this open to you guys. Does any
Hold
of
on there, on your internet is acting up for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's yeah. I was wondering.
You are cutting off.
damn it, no, not like this, not like this. Tell me when I'm okay. Am I okay?
Your stream was interrupted on.
Lame. Yeah. Sometimes my internet is like very hit or miss. For the past like week, I don't know if it's because of
Mm.
quarantine. My internet's gotten like way worse.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I know it's weird. Um,
Mm.
hopefully it's back on. I'm not 100% sure. But can you guys hear me? Okay.
You sounding
I
better
can
now.
hear you now.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna open up to the floor with you guys for you guys. Whoever wants to talk, whatever. Someone tell me a bad dating experience, or a bad date, or story. Come on, give it to me.
Can you repeat that whole introduction again when you cut out?
N-
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I just want someone to tell me. We're finally here, episode 30. What's title of the episode? What is your worst dating experience? I'm just excited to hear someone's spicy story or not so spicy.
I see story.
I mean, as long as it's a story, I just want to hear some stories that you guys experienced, or if you've heard one from your friends, or not friends, whatever.
Um,
Not friend.
I don't know. Maybe you're friends with someone that had like a bad dating experience, and they're like, "Oh, we're not friends anymore," but you still remember their story, and like, I want to hear
yeah,
that.
True, true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as a 26-year-old Asian woman in San Francisco, there's so numbers are always I always look at the data, right? In SF, there are much more men than there are women. The
Oh,
majority of them are in tech. And I'm contrasting this against New York City, where there are more women than there are men. And it
I didn't
really
know that
affects the
actually.
dating culture. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
I actually,
I think I've heard those data points before, actually. Yeah.
Interesting. I
And
never knew about New York. That's okay. Go on.
yeah, and I mean, I've known some people that moved to SF from New York, and vice versa too. Those are the most transient places for young people to go.
Right.
Similar to me, in their mid 20s, late, sometimes early if they just graduated college, but everyone has the same type of background. They're working in tech, either engineers, something, tech law, tech finance, tech, I don't know.
Tech.
But it's usually the case that it's a bubble out here. Everyone does the same thing, absolutely same thing, climbing, drinking IPAs,
oh
working for a
god.
startup that's about to go public, and it becomes an echo chamber of the same conversations. And more often than not, people here, they don't have that dating experience because they focus on school, they focused on work. So when it comes time for them to decide, hey, I want to date, hey, I want to settle down, it just leads to a very pigeonholed experience that me living in SF and being here for a while, it's like you get the feeling of it, and it just leads to a very bad dating culture, as you guys can guess. Posting, Tinder, all of that is even more amplified in SF.
What do,
So
what do you
why
mean by
not move to
amplified
SF
though?
if you want to date?
Well,
To
like
SF
what?
if you're married.
Okay, so what do you mean by like amplified though? Like on those dating apps or just on social media and stuff like that. What do you mean by amplified?
Yeah, so I feel people here, they commute a lot to work.
Mhm.
It's average where someone can waste about 3 hours, 3.5 hours a day just to commute if they're coming from South Bay to SF.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so a lot of time is wasted.
That's
People
crazy.
are A lot of FOMO happens. They're mostly working. It's like they try to make a quick decision off just a swipe, just a profile. So it kind of it's a lot less people going out to bars. Networking events are always the same, talking about work. It kind of prevents people from actually connecting when everyone does all the same
Mm.
thing. Yeah, there's no culture here because there's no artists, there's no musicians. It's place has become way too expensive for a diverse pool of people to live in. So that leads to just drowned out, what I call Peter Pan phenomenon, where a lot of guys here just don't have that dating experience and are just they become grown children in a way, and
Right.
become 30 and single and not even having relationship experience because of being here for a long time. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. So, but before I ask for like any more stories, I'm like, have you been to New York? Has anyone here been to New York as an adult?
Yes.
Not
I
as an
visited.
adult.
um,
I visited.
Okay. So Yoonji, as a follow-up question then. So in New York,
Yeah.
since the demographic is sort of reversed, right? Was the culture similar or different from like your time in New York? Like I said, I don't know how much time you spent there or whatever.
So I would spend a few months, no longer than 2 weeks. I would do that a couple of times uh, um, years ago or so, and I was seeing someone there. And then my housemate is from New York, went to NYU, had a
Ooh.
lot of dating experience there, and some exes that I went out with, they were from New York. And yeah, it's a culmination of story, seeing someone there, and just kind of knowing the reasons why they go there instead. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think because of how diverse New York is in terms of artists, musicians, people in the media, a lot more women because of fashion and media there. It just makes women step up their game, be more charming, be more. Uh, I feel that because everyone has different careers, the conversations are much more interesting.
Mm.
Because you don't know who you're going to meet, and they might have a completely different life than you, and
Right,
that
right.
makes I'm a proponent of differences make people come together. If you're that type that likes, being intrigued, learning new things, when you move to a big city, it's kind of you're searching for something that's bigger from where you came from. So kind of
Right.
applying that to dating, yeah, like new adventure, or I don't know, I just watch a lot of romantic comedies, but that's
Maybe it's a little
but
skewed, but
yeah.
who knows? I don't. Who knows? See, good thing you
It's a
said that
portion.
before I started thinking you're like a complete
Pre
expert. You know
preface
what I
it.
mean?
No, I'm a hopeless romantic. I believe that those relationships are out there.
Is it gonna be like you're gonna leave your one fling that you met in like a different city, and then they're gonna chase you all the way down to the airport? Is that what we're looking for? Is that what?
I wish. Sometimes it's not as dramatic as that because Facebook messaging is convenient. Thank God.
Yeah, that would
You,
never happen now. Like
yeah.
missing someone at the airport, like how?
You can't run at the airport. You'll actually get tackled.
Yeah, you
Ask
will.
me why I know that.
uh, well, that's a
I was
story for
saying
another
goodbye.
time.
I was saying goodbye to my husband as he was going off to war, but that's another story.
That's a good one. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you put that like that little like asterisk right at the end of all of that. That was great. I mean, but I really
I,
appreciate what you said. That was great. So I mean, okay, so let me
yeah.
so that's SF in New York for like from your experience. I mean, like Janice and Kemp and like myself, we're more or less local SoCal people. Um, what do you guys would think like the culture is more so around here, around like dating and stuff, or
I
career
feel like
related stuff?
It's definitely a lot more diverse.
I think it definitely is one of the things I love about LA, but I feel like LA as a whole, like LA is kind of just made up of a lot of smaller worlds.
Yes.
So like
Yeah.
it really depends what part of the city you're in. So for example, if you're in Santa Monica, which a lot of people nowadays call Silicon Beach, you're going
Oh,
to see a
Hmm.
lot
interesting.
of that similar tech culture that Yoonji was describing that you find because that's basically like SoCal's answer to SF now.
Hmm.
Tech bros
Interesting.
like who hang
Where?
out over there and like they always go to breweries, they always drink IPAs, like they all dress the same, they go to happy hour on Thursday nights,
Oh,
and
rock
it's like,
climb.
yeah, they all rock climb or yeah, they rock climb. They don't even surf anymore. You have to go down to Venice and find like hippies if you want people who surf.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
That's
but
interesting.
it's
Like
like
I
that's cool. That's cool. Like I didn't know that's what they called Santa Monica. I didn't realize that
yeah,
was a thing that's happening.
they call it Silicon Beach now because that's where a lot of tech startups have
Yeah, I've
begun
heard that.
popping up.
um,
That's actually where I work now
where are you guys in SoCal?
too.
Oh, so I'm or me and Kemp. If I'll speak for Kemp because we're from the same city. We're in Carson, so we're basically South LA County. We're in like the suburby
Oh,
area. Um, so we're
okay,
not
nice. Yeah.
super close to like downtown or like those metro urbanish areas. You
Hmm.
know, it's still kind of a little bit of a drive away. But yeah, we're more so from like
Suburban.
the suburban. Yeah, Janice is
Yeah.
somewhere different though. So
Yeah, I live in the valley.
Okay.
If you've ever watched Clueless,
no,
I
the
have not.
I am
okay,
clueless,
I know
but
where the
well,
valley is. Yeah. I
yeah.
I grew up in San Gabriel, so I'm from LA. And
Oh, nice. See, I'm in like SGV, like San Fernando Valley. I'm in Sherman
oh,
Oaks.
okay, Sherman Oaks. I know exactly where it is. Yeah.
Okay. A lot
I
of people
passed
that
that
I talk
light.
to don't know where Sherman Oaks is. So that's why I
Mhm.
just say I'm from the valley. And if they're like, "Oh, like San Gabriel," and I'm like, "No, the
Other
White Valley."
one. Yeah, the
the
White
other
Valley.
one.
The one west of LA.
The,
And
the
San
one-
Gabriel is about east of LA.
yeah, so I'm from like the Valley Girl Valley.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what I mean, Kemp, what about
Yeah,
you?
the
Like,
whole thing about Silicon
oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Beach. No, no, Camp. I just wanted to say that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, because it's a Silicon Beach, that's what they call it, tech bubble in LA, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like one part of LA because I feel like there are definitely other parts that also equate more to the New York culture,
Mm-hmm.
like where there are a lot of artists, a lot of creators, a lot of like creativity and collaboration. And that's
Mm.
usually but it's really interesting because like you'll also see a lot of that get mixed in with like the bougie tech culture, and I feel like that's where hipsters come from. But
Mm.
pretty interesting. I feel like it really depends on where you go.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's also just because,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What were you
Hello?
asking me, Nero?
No, 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 sorry. Sorry, I'll ask you something real soon. So I'm just like, this is just like my opinion of LA because it's like
Mhm.
I feel like LA has always been such a big market that people are always like coming into the city to do something, especially from
Mhm.
like out of LA or out of state. And then,
Yeah.
you know, it's definitely like a melting pot of cultures and stuff, but at the same time, I think that because that there's just so many people, it's hard to really see what LA's like the native LA people are sort of about. Because you know, LA is always growing, always moving. It's you know, in contrast to New York, it's you know, there's always something happening in LA, basically depending on like what your scene is. So I mean, yeah. I mean, Kemp, for you, like we're from like the suburby area, you know, South LA County. I mean, what do you think about like our culture and our dating scene here?
Um, mhm. I don't want to say not very diverse, I guess.
You don't think it's very diverse?
Um,
Like maybe like in all of LA or like just where you are,
no, 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 I mean south, where I'm at.
like South Bay?
Yeah.
Ready to or just uh,
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of agree to that. I think
What is the dating culture like down
um it's I
there?
wouldn't say
I
there's not
think we lost Neuron.
ah damn it. Hello?
yeah, I think so too. It was breaking up.
It says stream is interrupted. Oh, it's back.
Yeah, sorry guys. Hello?
Worries.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, my internet's trash. I don't know why it does this. But yeah, it's I would have to agree with Kemp. It's not you know the most lively thing, especially saying that like we're in that little part of LA County where we're basically out of the way of a lot of other like major urban areas. Like we're south of LA, we're west of OC, um, and it's just like we don't have like a big uh too big of an area that you know gives a lot of culture. per se. And then everyone that I've
Mhm.
seen on dating apps is mostly either just like they're super local. Everyone's grown up here. They're going to like a maybe like a local school, or they're just the out of town college kids, that are still young and still on dating apps. So I mean, that's what I see.
Oh.
Anyways, it's like, oh, you want to see like people from UCLA, USC, Irvine would be like the other big school um, around this area, and then as far as like all the Cal states here,
Huh?
those students are all like mostly locals. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like too diverse, in our area, anyways, because we're a little bit further from those big culture centers. Um,
Yeah, it's like if I want to meet someone, I just go to like downtown LA or something.
Hmm. That's true. A lot of people do tend to congregate in downtown, although downtown also is starting to develop or not starting, they also have their own little uh, career bubble. That's where all the fun are. Used to work in downtown.
Uh, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So okay. With that said, to go back to what Yoonji was talking about earlier, like when we're older, when we're adults, right? We have a lot of time in our day and our daily lives focused on work. Um, what are your guys' opinions on first subtopic that I want to talk about, like dating in like the workplace or using like your career choice as like a opportunity to meet someone? Anybody? Am I lagging?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
Are you so to sorry, the question is what are our thoughts on dating at the workplace or just dating within your field?
Yeah, either or, because some people have like career paths where like they travel or move a lot between like locations. So I mean, there's always that aspect to their career, but it's even though they're moving around, they're still meeting a lot of people in the same career fields. So I mean, you guys can answer the question however you'd like.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you okay?
I don't know. I don't know
Go ahead.
if I'm okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay.
I'm listening. We're still recording. We're fine. I'm
Oh, it's
Yoonji's
not you
door.
that keeps going in and out. I think that's
It's Yoonji.
I
See,
think that's
hello.
Yoonji.
Yoonji, hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? She might have that Discord
Oh, do
server
you think
bug.
maybe we're not able to hear
I have
something?
no idea. It may or may not be the
Oh, she
server.
can't hear us.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, I think it's time to restart the Wi-Fi.
yeah, but
Damn.
I'm not the one who,
Restart the Wi-Fi.
but I'm like, it's not like my server runs, like my internet runs the Discord server. So that's, hello? Oh my god. This is gonna be like that one other episode where everything's just crashing. Hello?
Hello.
Uh, okay. So I mean, go ahead, Janice. We'll recap Yunji when she gets back, but go ahead. You're gonna say?
Okay. Wait.
Wait. Okay.
I was gonna say I think it's fine when you're able to meet someone like a significant within your own field. I feel like there's definitely pros and cons, and it's probably going to depend on. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Waiting.
Hmm?
Why are
Wait.
you waiting?
Why are we
Wait.
waiting?
You
Yeah,
said
where?
wait.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What? Wait.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You probably cut off, and all we heard was wait.
That's
Yeah, it sounds like. Okay, I'm waiting.
no, I'm sorry. It probably just cut out really, really late um on my end.
Okay.
So you're good. Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
listening. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was saying it probably depends on each couple, like their own circumstances. Because like I know some people have who like literally work at the same place, like some couples who have worked in the same building, and they're like their way of coping with it is they often hang out with their own friends separately so that they're not stuck together like 24/7 because that
Mhm.
could be like, a con, right? But then on the flip side, um if you work at the same building, cool, which is really convenient and nice. And then you guys could just take turns driving, which if you have like a significant commute is a huge bonus because then half the time you don't have to drive. But
But won't you get like sick of each other?
no, I mean, I think it really depends on the couple, right? Like if you can't survive under certain conditions, it's probably an indicator of relationship health.
Oh, Yuji's back. Hooray.
Hey,
Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys.
No, sorry.
welcome
I don't, well,
back.
okay, yeah, welcome back. So, I mean, yeah, it really depends on the person, right? But you know, funny enough, like
I would say.
like funny enough that you said that. It's like at my company, it's family run, it's private business, and like our new CEO is
Mhm.
I didn't realize this when I first started, was like, you know, our the original CEO was like the dad, and like our operations vice president was the mom, and then I realized like the operations was like the daughter, right? Um,
Mhm.
and then, you know, a couple months of working there, they transitioned, and then now the daughter's the CEO, the dad is like engineering advisor, and like the mom's still working operation stuff. And then I realized our other vice president was the daughter's husband. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize you guys were married, because no one changed their names or whatever. And I'm just like, that's interesting. To you guys run a company like as a legitimate family. And I'm just like, I'm just like wondering how their dynamic went, because I'm like, your family owns a company, and you were brought on later, and then you brought your husband on, like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? It's like that dynamic in it as well. It's just interesting. It's not necessarily dating in the workplace, because I have no idea how they met. I'm just like, what it's like for them to like see each other at work and then go home, and then just, it's more of them. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so Yoonji, what we were talking about when you couldn't hear us, or you DC'd. Um, what are your thoughts on dating in the workplace?
Or within the
Absolutely no. Absolutely no. It always depends on the person, but my experiences from friends, they end up very unhappy with it just because I think in their case, since they were just starting off in their career, early 20s, it's difficult to that involved while you're young, you're kind of stressed out in work, and then your lover is there. Hard to manage for a young adult. I would say, be earlier in career, no, maybe later, yes, because it becomes less like like that kind of awkwardness of starting a job and like being young and dating in there. It's just a little bit weird.
Okay, so that's specifically at your workplace, but for what would you say about like using your career choices or your
Mm.
career path to find someone as well. Like this is for anybody, because it's like you said SF is more of a bubble. Like,
Yes.
I mean, what about like any of you thoughts on using your career choice as like a opportunity to meet someone as well?
Hmm. I have thought of, I mean, it happens when it does happen just because it's 30. A lot of people have it. People are bound to date each other and they work in tech. I haven't met anyone that specifically seeks it out because it's just so abundant here. I think now people, at least my friends, they want someone that's not in tech, and that's kind of like a relief to have someone not in the same career as you,
Okay.
if that makes
No, that makes sense. It's just like just to have that new energy, that different energy than compared to your own lifestyle. You know, I mean, I totally understand that. Especially if like you've been constantly surrounded by people of similar background for your entire career for the most part. You know, I understand that. So that fresh energy, it's nice. I mean, what about you guys? Janice or Kemp, like using your career paths as a
I used to think that you shouldn't go out with someone in your workplace. I still so, but I feel like if you're spending a lot of times when you're young, you're spending a lot of time when you're dealing with your career and like where to go from there. It's really like the easiest place to meet.
hmm.
so
So you
it's basically you're spending so much time there anyways, you might as well use it as a chance, basically.
yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see, I see.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
a
mean, I mean, you also have to just like take into account like work is work, and then the relationships. You
a
should never
rela-
get it mixed
work
up. You
is
know.
work and a relationship is more work. Am I right, guys? Am I right?
That's 100% right.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's just how it is. I think it's also, in my opinion, a little bit skewed for me because, I think I'm considered still relatively young in like a professional field. So it's just like, I just want to grind it out now, and then if I find someone related to my work, then cool. If not, it's not a big deal to me. But I think, I've been saying this for the past couple of years because of how our modern day society works is like 30 is like the new 25. So I mean,
Oh no.
no, because it's
You're
like,
absolutely right. No, you are absolutely right.
no, because yeah, that's how I see things. It's like, people are trying to work and just trying to get their lives together, and like, not everyone's able to go to their same life plans that we all imagined growing up. So everything's like slowed down a little bit. Things are more spaced out, especially like if we went to school, good jobs aren't guaranteed right out of the school. You know what I mean? It's just like that aspect, and
Hmm.
it's so weird to trying to rush things. I was having like a quarter life crisis like a year ago. I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Am I gonna find anyone? Like stressing all about that stuff. But I'm just like, dude, we got a lot of time. We're still young. Things are gonna work out as long as we work hard. So I mean, that's just my thing. But back to the actual topic. Sorry, that was a tangent. But like bad dates. I'm just go straight into it. Bad date experience. Let me hear it, guys. Give me the spicy stories. I want to hear it now.
Hmm.
All my technical difficulties in ranting is I want to get to this topic
Okay.
before I lose it.
Okay, I actually had a crazy story that happened right before COVID. And it's very intense that I'm not even sure what happened.
Huh?
Like in the funniest way, in the funniest way. So I was on
Okay.
Hinge and just swiping as normal. I checked Facebook in the morning and some guy messaged me. a kind of handsome guy. He's like, "Oh, I saw you on Hinge," and it was a message request. I never get those, so I opened the message and said, "Oh, I I turned to my phone on Hinge and your profile disappeared. So I Googled you and Facebooked you and added you here because I forgot to swipe on Hinge. So I didn't want to miss it. So I found you on Facebook."
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was very
Creepy.
yeah, my first thought it was crazy. And the second part was, okay, I'm a little intrigued. Okay. No,
Crazy.
but actually, no. After that Facebook message, I ignored it. But then when I opened up on Hinge and we matched, I opened it. 2 minutes later, he replied back, "Why are you ignoring me?"
What?
I'm like, and I don't know, maybe I was just very trigger happy that day. I'm like, okay, that's a little challenging. I'm like, okay, I was busy, and I replied back all sassily, and then we just went back and forth, and he was just ripping me a new butthole, like, so like
Oh my
very
god.
aggressive, like wanting to ask me out. That I'm like, wow, you're like chasing, and I'm like, I kind of like it. This is
Oh,
very
no.
different. Yeah, I googled
Oh,
him.
no.
I found out everything.
Am I watching like an episode of You or
Yeah.
No, I thought
is that what I'm hearing? Episode of You?
yeah, and I told him, like, I don't have a lot of time to date. Like, let's just meet, like, low stress. Let's go to a coffee shop in the middle of downtown SF. He's like, wait, no way. Let's video chat in like 20 minutes. Do it now. I'm like, wait, what? Video chatted, and he proceeds to tell me, okay, you're a cute girl, but you are arrogant as fuck. And I'm like, I knew that, but you didn't have to tell me to my face. I was just very defensive. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, I have my boundaries. I'm busy. Like, don't expect a reply right away. He was older than me. He's 35 and I'm 26. And then he was just telling me, like, okay, let's go out to dinner. Like, let's find this out. Like, okay, like you have a little bit of bite. And I'm like, okay, I'm actually mad at you and you're patronizing, but this is kind of very attractive. I am
Oh
very
my
intrigued. And yeah, so when he pulled up to my apartment to take me out to dinner, he pulls up in this very beautiful black Porsche Panamera.
Oh.
And when he pulled up, as soon as I got in, I'm like, you act like a guy that would roll up casually in a Porsche. Let's go out to dinner. And we had dinner. And that was it.
That was it.
There's no aftermath?
Yeah, there's nothing after that.
I mean,
How?
there's other stuff, but like
That's the most
was the
interesting
end to
part.
that story.
Okay. you
That
you
was the
act
end to
like a
that
guy who
story.
owns a Porsche.
He literally said that, and while we were talking, he was just speeding, showing off. It's kind of unsafe because I think it's cool to show off your car, but come on, I already know how much it costs. You don't need to flex anymore. I'm here, aren't I? I'm here on a date after you insulted me, but kind of that self-awareness is what my therapist taught me, so I took it with criticism and went on a date, and I feel like I'm a better person coming out of it.
It sounds like you aggressively agreed with him, and then you wanted to go deeper into the rabbit hole.
Yes, I was very intrigued by that rabbit hole, and
we must explore. We must
oh my
investigate.
god, and there is lots more to tell on that joke too. Lots of holes. But yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
that was
god.
it. And a few days later, I ran into him. I didn't run into him actually. I saw him at this nightclub. I knew that he liked house music. I was there too, last minute with a friend, and I saw him with another woman, like talking. Like this was like a few days after our like first date and stuff. I was like talking, wooing, and I was sitting right next to them. I was with my friends, and I was literally right behind them, watching them. And yeah, best bet I messaged him after, and you best bet I went home with him after because I am dumb, and we went home in the Porsche. Yes.
Wow.
And that's the story.
Oh my god. Wow, that was a great story. It went over more than one day. That was great.
Oh yeah. This was a week-long mistake. Yeah.
Wait,
Multiple days.
This was last week. Wait, when was this?
This was before COVID.
Oh, COVID.
So this was like 2 months ago.
Oh,
Yes.
That's great.
well, how does he woo you now? Now that COVID's here, is he not woo you no more?
Yeah, can
We had a falling out where we just decided that we aren't a match and
okay.
left it as buys. So
Oh,
I'm
that's good.
glad none of us caved in during a lonely time out there, and people are out there making mistakes, calling up their exes. We've all been there.
Did
We've
he
all been
insult
there.
you on the way out or no?
No, but it was it wasn't insulting, but it was more of that kind of like egging on, teasing.
Uh,
But it was like kind of flirting.
huh?
Maybe that's what I'm trying to tell myself in my head. I don't know. Yeah. San Francisco. This is going. That's okay. You guys can hear it. Yeah. And yeah.
So
Tell
definitely
my
go
friends about
somewhere.
this. Yeah. I'll tell my parents about this too. Very interesting. Maybe they could give me good advice. I don't know. I know.
That's a very good story. I highly appreciate you telling that. But oh my God, wait. So um what I don't even know where to begin. Like I feel like I'm supposed to have a question, but I'm just so entertained that I just don't have a question. I feel like I don't know. Like you guys think of a question. I don't know.
You got a good guest this weekend, Aaron.
Hey man.
Anytime, guys.
That's what happens. She was she egged on to be on the podcast too. She was like, I posted it. I was like, who wants to be on a podcast? She was like, I want to be on a podcast. Hey man.
I'm a very extroverted person. I think of myself kind of as a late bloomer. And now this is I've been in SF since I graduated with Neuron, so there's a lot of freedom, a lot of fun, taking advantage of it before I have to, think about married, career, family, things like that. As I say, living my best life. There we go. Let's end it at that. There's no way to come back from that. I'm just having a lot of crazy fun because I was repressed.
Well, you're gonna be like this guy at 35 too, man. All the way to 35 or something, man. Sounds like.
I hope to get it all out
by that age.
Oh yeah, hopefully. My cutoff is 29. I believe if there's fun, there should always be a start and always an end, just to be balanced. But if there's another guy that wants to pull up in a Porsche when I'm 30, all red flags look like hearts in the end. So.
Oh my God. That's so. I mean that if you're if you're willing to make mistakes, the more power to you. If you and you're willing to, and she admitted it was a week-long mistake. I didn't say anything. She said it.
Yeah, but I learned a lot. So
see, there you go.
Always remember the lessons.
Exactly. So I'm just like I'm here. I'm here for the ride. I'm here to with my popcorn ready and drink. Ready to listen to these life happenings. I'm like I'm all for it as long as people aren't like hurt long term emotionally or like psychologically. You know what I mean? It's like because it's like you make a mistake. Something if it was a mistake or like you made a wrong choice or something. In your own head or in general. I mean, it's obviously there will be consequences, right? Like there's always something that might go wrong. And I'm just like, if you're willing to accept them, I mean, just like, that's you. Like, you live your own life and like fucking do it.
And I pass on those stories in hopes that maybe then it will inspire you if you ever get honeypotted by a Porsche.
Honeypotted? You got honeypotted?
Yes. It's all shiny, guys.
Oh my God.
If it happens, please just try it out. You never know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think.
I had high hopes for us. I don't know. I think it was going down the right path. I don't know.
That's fair. You're in the moment. It's hard to make that judgment call in the moment sometimes.
Every relationship takes work. that relationship would have been a lot of work. I would have been up to the challenge, but better that I did not. God bless quarantine for forcing us to face our growing pains. There we go.
Nice, nice. I don't know. I don't have any stories that can top that. What about you guys?
I have a lot of stories to top that, but
Oh my gosh, she can top herself. All right, we'll hold off on your
yeah.
stories, and we'll slowly turn up the heat on your stories. Well, what about
No,
you
don't.
guys? Janice or Kemp, any bad stories from you guys?
Hard pass. So once I see red flag, usually I'm out of there. No,
So,
unlike our guest here.
Hmm. I've had some pretty awful stories from way back in the day. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I recount one of my terrible stories last before?
I don't know which one is it. You gotta remind me. It was a while ago.
It was it was the last random date I went on before I met Doug, and it was hands down the absolute worst date experience of my life. I was so traumatized by it that I didn't go on a date for like 6 months after.
Oh wow,
It was
is that bad?
unspeakably bad in every single way.
I'm pretty sure maybe you brought it up before, but I don't think you've ever told it. Because
All right,
I know you told me about this. I don't remember the details unless I go, oh yeah, you have told me this. But for the sake of the podcast, tell me anyways.
all right. So this was about a year before I met Doug. I think I was single. This is when I was working in downtown. I think I was about 23 years old.
Mhm.
Life, young, dumb, single. And met this guy on Tinder, and um, he was Asian,
Mhm.
and he seemed pretty cute. Not like the cutest guy I'd ever seen, but he was cute. Like, and um, we matched, and we talked a little bit, and we decided to go on a date. So, first off, when I we decided to go on our date, he asked me to come over to his place because he said he had guest parking, so I could just park there and we could go like eat or something.
Okay.
Uh, any women who are watching this podcast right now, do not do this on a first date. Do not recommend going over to a strange person's house and leaving your car there. Don't do that. But I did it, and so I show up there, and the guy lied about his height on his profile by a lot.
Oh my God, how much? Okay, I have not heard this
So
story. Keep going.
when we matched, his profile said he was 5'9". And I
Okay.
just want to say right now, I'm not the kind of I do not judge women who prefer men of a certain height. I think that's totally like up to you, personal preference, whatever. Also, my boyfriend now is very tall, but um, I didn't care because like the the guy that I dated before I met Doug, he was 5'5". I'm
Okay.
5'3". I don't care, right?
Okay.
This guy put 5'9" on his profile, and funny thing is, like I think 2 days before we met, it went down to 5'7". And I was like, did I imagine that it was 5'9"? Was it always 5'7"? And I was like, oh, I guess it was always 5'7". I meet this guy. He's like 5'4",
Holy
Dang.
crap.
right? I'm like, so already I have a bad taste in my mouth, not because he's short, but because he lied about it, right? Like, I'm just like, can't you just be upfront? Because I've swiped right on guys who are short. Okay, but obviously I didn't say anything. I was, too polite. Um, so I go to his house and like we're hanging out in his living room for a while,
Mhm.
and we haven't decided on a place to go eat yet. But he was like, "Hey, do you mind if we like go to Costco? Because like my friend's coming over, but I just moved here, so I don't have a place for him to crash. Like I need to get like an air mattress." I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Like it's not even like a real date. We're just like hanging out, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, "Okay, cool. I just gotta like finish some work first." And he opens his laptop and he pulls up like a program because he was a programmer. He was a software engineer, and he pulls up like some program with a bunch of code on the screen, and he's like looking over at me, and I'm like, oh my god, is he trying to impress me by pulling up like coding stuff on his screen.
Oh,
And
hell yeah, I can code.
he was, because I'm not clueless about code. Like, I'm not a coder myself, but I know the basics. And at that
Right,
time, I was
right.
working at a tech startup working with software engineers. So I know enough to know that when I look at him on his screen, I know that he's not doing anything. He's literally just had it pulled up,
Okay.
scrolling numbers. And so I was like, okay, this is weird, but whatever. In my mind, I'm like, okay, this guy is no longer boyfriend material, but I could still like hook up with him and have fun,
Right.
right? So I'm like, whatever. But at this point, like, he starts talking about the girls that he's dated before, and he was like, I forgot what exactly he said, but he said something like, oh, yeah, like, oh, I think he was asking me about my job and what I do. And he was like, oh, you seem very like, uh, thanks. And he was like, it's just like the girl, like, as soon as they found out how much I made, they would just be like so crazy. And I was just like, is this real life? Like, did those words really come out of this human's mouth? Like, is this real? I was like, he can't be a real man. He has to be like a caricature of a man. But at this point, I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just go to Costco. So we went to Costco. I don't even remember what we did at Costco. All I remember is that afterwards, we went to some sushi place in the same plaza as Costco, like one of those very cheap sushi places.
Mm-hmm.
And we ordered our sushi to go, paid separately, and went straight back to his house because I was like, oh, he wants to just hook up. I was
Okay.
like, whatever. At this point, I've already demoted him to nothing more than a hookup, so that's fine by me. So we go back to his house. We eat our sushi, and we start making out. He was a terrible kisser. So already, this was just like, I was really not feeling it.
Uh,
But I was like, you know what? I haven't gotten any in a really long time, so why not? And we, continue on
mm-hmm.
to other extracurricular activities. And he was very bad at everything, is all I have to say. I'm not going to go into further detail because I am a classy lady, but he was extremely bad at everything. So bad that I stopped in the middle of it and stood up and said, I'm not feeling this anymore. I'm going to go home.
Oh my god, damn! This just got worse and worse by the second. Holy crap.
And he got very upset. So this is why, ladies, you should never ever park your car at the guy's place. Because I couldn't leave because he had to walk down with me and me out with his remote. So it was really awkward because he got mad at me because I didn't want to engage with him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we went down the elevator in silence. He was like lashing out at me verbally, saying, like, I forgot what he said because in my mind I was just thinking, please, please let me get home safe. Get murdered by this psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into my car and I drove off. And yeah, that's the story of the worst dating experience I ever had.
I'm. These stories are fucking great.
I'm traumatized for you, man.
It was pretty traumatizing. I was actually like the next day at work because I'm excited about going out on a date, and then like my coworkers and my bosses had been excited for me. It was like a young startup, like my bosses were like in their early 30s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next day I came to work and they were like, Janice, how did the date go? And I just looked at them and they were like,
Oh.
I clearly remember one of my bosses, he was the CTO. He looks my face and he's like, all right, what's this? I'm going to kill him.
Well, that's a cool boss, though. That's a cool boss.
Yeah, he was really, but yeah, it's pretty bad. Doug actually knows about this story, by the way, because I told him
I mean, I feel like you would be one of the people you would tell. If you didn't know about this, I'd be like, I'm surprised you haven't told him, but you have, so
No,
cool.
he does know about it. And he was also shocked when he heard about it. He was like, what the hell?
Okay, so let me ask you, and this was all in the span of about how many hours? Because it's like clearly you got off work, you had work the next day.
This
Like,
was like in the span of 5 hours, I would say.
god damn, that sounds so terrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
oh my.
pretty bad. But when I look back on it now, I can laugh because I'm in a relationship wise.
That's good. Is this a story that if you were ever first date and someone were to ask you, can you tell me a horrible first date story? This is the top of your mind, like cream of the crop best story.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't think anything can top that date in terms of awfulness.
Yeah, that is really awful.
Pretty bad, right? And another small detail, like when we were talking on Tinder before we met up, he was saying, or actually, I think on his bio, he said something like, I like strong, independent women who, like, can look after themselves. And then when we meet up in person, he's all like, oh, you're like really independent, huh? I'm just like, bitch, I thought that's what you wanted. Like, hello? Excuse me?
And this guy's just he's trying to do all the right things, but he
I was
just
like,
can't do
what?
anything.
I
That's
can't believe he didn't pay for your meal there. That's, I think,
Like,
God, that I want to slap this guy. I'm
yeah, dude.
so sorry. I want to slap
He's 5'9", remember?
him. He's
yeah.
5'9".
He
Yeah,
he
fine.
shrunk. He shrunk. Okay, guys' heights shrink apparently on the internet. 5'9", 5'7", nah, 5'3". Five. What did you say? 5'4"? You said.
What?
Oh my.
He was okay. I'm 5'3", and he was. I'll be generous. Maybe he was 2 inches taller than me, but we were
Oh, God.
definitely eye to eye. Like,
Mhm.
and it just left such a bad taste in my mouth that he would lie about something like that, and to
Yeah.
that extent. It's one thing if you lie about 1 inch, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you thought I wasn't gonna notice 4 inches?
Okay,
I feel like
I
I feel
think
like that's also just really bad because if you're eventually gonna meet the person, you know what I mean. I'm like, how you gonna lie about that if you're eventually gonna meet the person? You know what I mean? Like, why? What do you gain from this? You know what I mean?
I hear it's because women put very strict height parameters. They have some leeway, but I feel guys they add two, and this is what some of the guy friends tell me. They would add 2 inches because it's when you meet in person, it's like more realistic. But 2 inches off, you can get yourself over that like kind of
Disappointment.
parameter that people
Disappointment.
set. Some people are like
Just
I
just
don't know.
just being
I
real
feel
here,
like
just being very real.
yeah. No, but I feel like these men are trying to be an exception to like some of these women's standards. And I'm just like, no, why don't you just be a better man? I don't know, learn how to date, learn how to have a conversation, and learn how to treat women to their first meal on the first date.
like I didn't even care that he wasn't gonna pay for my food because I I don't mind, like I don't feel like he has to pay for my food. I feel like this is my personal like principle. I think that whoever asks out the other person should pay for the meal.
Uh-huh.
And then I think that if the date went well, the receiving person should offer to pay for the next meal or at least get like dessert or coffee or something.
Mm.
But it was just like, okay, you obviously just want to hook up. You can't even pay for my $8 sushi.
Yeah, dude, with how much bank you make, that.
After
Oh.
bragging to me about your six-figure salary, like, hello.
Yeah, girls go crazy over $8 sushi, bruv. Come on, man.
No, it's true. I don't
Yeah.
know who he's trying to impress there. That's such like a humble brag, like nothing else
It's a very casual
offers.
flex.
So just throw money at the problem.
It was literally just turn off, piled onto turn off, piled onto turn off. Like,
Yeah.
it was just a
It's
parade of red flags.
And then like the best part was like you even settled for it, and then when you settled for it, it got even worse.
Got worse. I
That's
was like,
the
I
best
can't do
part.
this. I can't. Like, it's reached the point where I just can't. It was
Oh my
bad.
god, dude, these stories, you guys have these are great stories. Kemp, you got anything? Kemp, Kemp, you there, buddy?
Hello, hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Can you repeat that?
You got any stories?
No, I like dip out as soon as I see a red flag. I'm not like Janice here, a trooper.
I think a lot of women tend
I
to like give a lot of chances like that, especially if we're. And I think that's why a lot of guys see success with lying about those 2 inches.
Mm.
Because, like, a lot of
that could be
guys,
taken a lot of ways.
well, a lot of guys, I feel like, I think I see a lot of people, like, and this is obviously not a scientific study, but I've seen a lot of, YouTubers do those, like, tests where they'll have, like, a girl post on, like a dating site and look really hot, but then she shows up to the date in a fat suit. And then, like, the reverse, like, a guy, like, lie about his height, and then it'll be like women will stay and finish out the date, but men will just leave.
Mm.
Have a
I have a story about that. Where this actually happened to a guy friend of mine. I asked out a girl on a date to a group event. We were all going to a rave together, a concert. And
Mm-hmm.
then he invited this girl to this. It was the first date. Right? And then they came. They showed up at the pregame. She was very uncomfortable. Obviously, since she's new and this is her first time meeting all these new people on a date, I can tell she's very uncomfortable. But okay, so a preface for this guy, he's very immature and not a friend, but and I don't respect what he did and his actions. As soon as when we got to the venue, he told my friend, "Hey, I felt like I was majorly catfished right now, and I kind of want to dip." And then she thought, "Wait, like we don't know her. What is she gonna do?" And he's like, and then he left. And then she was with our friends for a couple of minutes, around 10 minutes, and then an Uber home, and he was nowhere to be seen.
That is so sad.
Damn, what the
Yeah.
hell?
And I'm like, okay, that was your first mistake to ask out a girl to this big event, this commitment without like meeting her at kind of like at a coffee shop, talking
Yeah,
talking
Yeah,
about
that's a
her.
that's a that's a big a
Get us
whole
over.
rave, dude. A pregame
Yeah.
and a rave. Wow.
That's
That's
too
Yeah.
much.
I feel like that's also too much. I can't.
That's too much.
Well, the happy ending is that she is in a loving relationship with someone that she met in law school, killing it in her career, and I don't know what he does, so
Wait, how'd you keep track of this new girl? What?
Oh, I'm friends with her
Oh, okay.
now, because after that event, I'm just like, damn, I am sorry for what he did. I'm not like that.
Oh,
We're
so you
not
kept
like
in touch
that.
with her.
Yeah, and like I don't know,
Yes.
with because me and my girlfriends, we knew that it was a shitty thing that our guy friend did, and as women, we wanted to be like, hey, like we don't support that. You don't even like
Yeah.
him. We like you better. You
That's
be our friend. Good for you, boo. That type of thing. So
That's awesome.
solidarity in women looking out for women.
I
Also,
respect
men
that.
looking out for women and women looking out for men. Love everywhere. I don't know.
No, I respect that. I respect that. I would probably do the same thing. Just make a new friend. People don't deserve that kind of stuff, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I posted the promo on Instagram, right? And I was like, I posted with the question, what's your worst dating experience? And to my surprise, someone actually replied with their worst dating experience. I was like, this was a promotion. I wasn't expecting actually anyone to answer. Right?
Nice.
So then someone replies. So obviously I'm not going to say their name, but I will say that it is a female, my
Okay.
friend. And they're telling me, oh, I'm gonna just read this, um, quote for quote, right? So, the worst one was when the guy I dated was fucking my friend at the same time. Found out when we were having a double date with that friend. Big oof. I was like, damn, dude. I was like, what the hell?
Oh my god.
What the f?
Mhm. Uh,
I'm pressing F to pay my respects.
yeah, and then I
Oh
was,
wow. F F.
yeah, and this friend was saying that it's like, oh, yeah. I was like, uh. I was single for 2 years before I dated him, but this guy made me single for like another four with trust issues. I was like, damn, dude. I'm like,
No.
that feels so like I was like,
No.
dang, dude. This is a very hard hitting story. And I was like, dude,
Yes.
I feel fucking bad. And I was like,
I feel bad.
I don't know. I was like, are you? I was like, do I have permission to say this, or are you just telling me this thing? She was like, oh yeah, you can tell me. Just just you can tell it. Just don't say my name. I'm like, that's fine. I wasn't planning to, because that just feels fucking terrible to begin with. And I was like,
Well,
dude, holy shit.
to your friend, you are better than that, and you are better because of that. I apologize on behalf of all humans for that shitty behavior. You deserve better.
Yeah. Oh, and also just like your friend, this my friend is also now in a I believe in a loving relationship. I'm pretty sure.
You
So
believe?
no, because I'm like they
Yeah.
post photos, and I'm pretty sure they're like together for at least a year now. So I mean, I
Hey,
think
happiness wins, love wins for her.
there you go. So I'm just like
Love wins.
I was like, dude, I was like, dude, that sucks. Um, but yeah. So that's I don't have any like stories about you guys, but that was a friend's story that I got consent to tell on the podcast. I'm just like, dude, that was like really a big oof. I even told them I went, dude, I can't even oof or like say
Oh,
anything. I just feel terrible.
yeah.
I feel like that happened a long time ago for you, and you're just listening to this. I'm just like, I feel so bad. All,
I'm sorry for
I,
bringing that memory up.
like
I'm so sorry.
I didn't even ask you directly. Like I posted this and you told me.
I mean, it's nice that she like found that outlet,
Yeah, I'm just like, all
and
right.
it proves to be a good lesson for all of us to know. Do not double date with someone that we are also screwing. Oh,
Oh my god.
F F F. Be my respects.
Big F's everywhere. Oh my god. That's the
Feel for
yeah.
you, girl. Feel
Yeah.
for
I
you.
had some audacity.
Yeah. I don't have any like dating stories like you guys or anything like that. I honestly I feel like after the lockdown and stuff, I want to go out on a date just so I can have stories. That's what like comedians say. They're like, I wasn't feeling
Mhm.
on going on a date, but I want to go just to have material.
Honestly,
If something does go wrong, and I'm just like, that seems just like an experience just to do.
honestly, it is. Yeah, yeah, it honestly is. And you grow used to. I mean, you kind of get used to those bad dates, and you develop a hard shell for it,
Mhm.
and like joke about it. And you entertain your friends. Good stuff comes out of it. Yeah,
All
personal
right.
development comes out of this. I don't
Character development. No, we're all
character
about the
development.
character
Yes,
development here.
there we go. There we go. Character development.
All
Silver
right.
lining.
Of course, of course. Speaking of silver linings, that's a terrible segue. You said you could top yourself. Come on, I need to hear another one, Yoonji. You can't tease us
Another
all
one.
like that and then not tell us at least one more. These are great, by the
Um.
way. I
Okay.
appreciate everyone's stories.
Okay. I'll hide the name. Hide the name, but yeah, my close friends know who it is. I tell everyone about this. Actually, I tell it to the person that did it to me too. Um.
Oh my, that was a very quick acceptance of either hiding, being confidential, or just
Yeah.
straight up saying it. But okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I'll just be entertaining. So, um, I met this guy in Coffee's Bagel, and he looked up where I worked and like said very specific things, and I'm like, oh, okay. I ignored him, and then he double texted me and said that, okay, I'll just go back to talking to myself. And I thought, okay, that's like a little butthurt, but like, okay, fine, that means he really wants to see me, so I'll go out with him. He went out a couple of times. This was this very quick romance where he just poured all his and I didn't think it was a problem at that time, but he had a woman as his housemate, and they lived in a two-bedroom in town. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I spoke to her. It was all okay. I didn't have any worries because I'm just like, okay, I'm like, I have nothing to, not giving me probable cause um, to be suspicious because I just met him, and I'm like, okay, give them benefit of the doubt. I haven't been jaded. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he asked to be exclusive. We started dating. We do have a lot of problems. We did argue a lot. And then during an argument, he told me, "Hey, Yoonji, I gotta tell you something." I was already fuming, and he said, "Hey, so like, you remember this one time? Um, I Let me preface this. I told him, hey, like I kissed one of my friends, and it was because I was angry, but I'm apologizing. I'm gonna accept the consequences. Let's work through this, babe. Whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And then about that, and then he tells me, okay, then I have something to tell you. And I'm like, after I said that, then he tells me, like, remember a month ago? So I kissed my roommate at a concert when she treated me for my birthday. I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. And then she was in the apartment too, but I was just yelling at him. I'm like, wait, could be anyone, not the woman you live with that I like trusted, because you didn't give me any doubt that like it wasn't anything more. So I was gonna trust you, but I'm like, oh, just lost my trust. And that happened. We ignored each other for like a year. We broke up. We started becoming friends with benefits again, and in that time, I moved very close to him, a block away, but that was not my intention. I just found a place, and when he started coming over, and we were friends with benefits, saw the place and was like asking a lot of details about it and asking if there were openings. Then a few months into our reconnection, tells me, or he doesn't even tell me, I found out from my housemate that, oh yeah, so your ex, that guy, the guy that always comes over, he was asking me questions about the specs of the place. I'm like, and then the guy tells me, hey, like something he like casually squeezes in, yeah, I'm gonna move into this place next week. And I'm like, wait, what? You signed a lease? I'm like, and then he's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm moving in. And then it's the housemate that he cheated on me with too. So both of them are there. And guess what number it is? He lives four doors down. So we are in the same floor.
Mm-hmm.
Is 4 number units down.
Oh wow.
And when he came in there, I thought, no, you cannot do this. You have broken my trust. This is something that, I'm going to set the boundaries. You should have asked me as a friend. You don't owe me anything, but just consideration, be a decent human being and tell me something, because I think this is kind of important information. And then he just tells me, you don't own the place. I can live wherever I want and stuff and all of this. And I'm like, wow, you are not a good human being ever. And then he tells me, and then he tries to like make it better. And then he's like, wait, but like, isn't it easy access when we can fuck? I'm like, whoa.
Oh.
But dude, don't ever be crude. Don't ever be crude. Like, don't like say shitty things. Like, you can be straightforward and honest, but like, whoa, don't say that. That's just straight up raised you. And then, yeah, we had like a bad falling out where I'm just like, whoa, you just like do not treat me or anyone with disrespect, and you overcross boundaries. So then I blocked him off of everything, but he still lives here to this day, and he knows the exact schedule that I walk my dog. So I bump into him from time to time, and one time he was making out with a girl in our hallway. during a time that he knew that I was coming back from work, and he was making out with a girl in our hallway. And I'm like, you actually have a unit in house, and you know that I walked through that. So I think you are trying to prove something, and this serves me right for dating someone 3 years younger than me. But you live and learn. And that guy is kind of the true Joe from you. So yeah, there's that. So I live 4 doors down from my ex for the past
Damn.
almost a year now. Yeah, almost a year now. Yeah.
You don't want to move
Oh.
out?
No, well, I don't.
Where?
I was here
It's not worth
first.
it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I was here
Why does she have
first.
to move?
Yeah, it's not
Why
worth
don't
it.
I have to move? Why don't they? I don't know. I just I just let bygones be bygones and just avoid them. But I'm like, bro, like just be in my way in the hallway, please. Come on. Gotta walk my dog.
Literally,
The dog I'm worrying about.
you don't even have to say get a room. Like you literally have a fucking room, like right there.
We all have rooms. We all live in this apartment building. And this is not a cheap building. Make
Oh.
use of the rent you pay, you person. Every minute that you're spending outside of your house is money wasted.
Oh.
Economics. Just kidding. I don't know.
Oh my god. That was
Yeah.
these stories. I appreciate your life experience and your stories, and I feel, although I cannot do much now other than you know uh send my regards to you and all those people who been affected by these shitty people.
Thoughts and prayers, guys.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I can't do anything, but it just feels bad to hear like such terrible stories of just like this. I don't know. Like, how do you
It's just
guys like
entertaining.
it is because if you can look back at it and laugh, like I can look back and laugh with you too, because that I'll re-experience it through how you guys re-experience it, but all at the same time I'm just like, man, you guys have been through some shit. Like, jeez.
I have a thirst for the unknown, and kind of intriguing. So why not? Could end up being the best romance of my life, or a arc in a character development season. I don't know.
That's true.
Nice. Well, so yeah, I mean, these are I don't even know, man. I've fuck. I don't even know what to say. I mean,
Dude, Neron, if Yoonji here hasn't motivated you to go out and date people or like go into dates and shit, I don't know,
No,
man.
do it.
I know. I mean, like I would do it like I'm not like a perfect person either, and I'm sure I will make mistakes and eventually maybe potentially be someone else's
Someone's bad date story.
yeah, like you don't know that. Like I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna come in here and be like, oh yeah, I've been on like a dozen dates and they all been fucking great. And like, no, I would like if I had a bad date story and I know it was my fault, like I would gladly tell that shit. Cause but like I don't think I'm that terrible of a fucking. I'm not a fucking sociopath.
I bet that guy that was 5'4" didn't think he was a sociopath either, but he's a
Yeah.
sociopath.
I'm not gonna. What?
That is very true.
Here, let me flex on. Let me flex with something that I'm not actually doing on my laptop. Right. I'm a coder. Let me touch my keyboard a few times.
Well, upload some
So
PNGs onto my
dumb.
program or something.
Then you just see hello world over and over.
Yeah.
Hello world.
You see like a messed up calendar with like only like 25 days or something. It's like stuff that they teach you in like CS 101, but it's like doesn't even get it right.
Yeah. I wonder if that guy is listening, or if he ever hears this. I wonder if he will just get smacked with some self-awareness.
Hell no, dude.
Doubtful.
I appreciate the fact that you think someone's actually gonna listen to this, other than myself. but man,
I didn't even know there was people that actually like flexed with their like paychecks like on the first date.
yeah, I was gonna
I
say
love
that.
it.
I'm
I
like,
didn't
who?
either.
I was like, who in their right mind actually has that kind of like self-awareness? Be like, first date. Did you know I make this many figures? I'm like, what kind of fucking, what kind of
No.
person?
Yeah, so some guys had to ask me that, and when I started dating them more, there was just more red flags. I feel like one question kind of uncovers it, and if you have a gut feeling about that question, you know that there's like the reasonings behind, and those reasonings are red flags. Guy asked, he told me how much he made, he asked how much I made, my bonuses, my benefits, all of that.
Jesus Christ! What's your social
I'm like,
security number? What's your mother's maiden
basically,
name?
Yeah, did he want
yeah.
your blood type too? Shit.
I guess he grew up in a different culture, and he was also like very greedy and also very materialistic and cares a lot about face and things like that.
Mm.
So, I don't know, just knowing the numbers was very important to him. While I didn't think it was important unless I'm like, why do you need to borrow money? Is that why you need to like how much I make?
He needs a sugar mama, you know.
Right? No, he
Uh
actually came from a very wealthy, like royal Indian family. I think he
oh
was finding out so that like I wouldn't take his wealth or something. But I'm like,
an
good.
evaluation.
I think something like that. But I'm like, no, it's okay. I don't want to date you, so you can keep your money. Like,
Okay.
don't worry, you don't even know how much I make because we're never ever seeing each other after this. Well, actually, we did. We did go out a couple of more times. That question did not scare me away.
Okay, then let me one more subtopic for all three of you. So, what are some common red flags that you guys see that you're willing to explore just a little bit or explore a lot if you're Yoonji, you know? But um, that you
I
guys
will
see
refrain from
often.
this question. This question does not apply to me. Get away, you guys.
But what are some common red flags that you see like whether you're looking to like you're talking to someone, to your first date, or like that you see like your friends experience in their dating scene. What are common red flags that you guys experience or see?
Common red flags.
Yeah. Do they flex their wealth? Do they try to do they try to be do they try to assert their dominance and try to outsmart you even though you know exactly what they're talking about? Stuff like that. Anything. Do they pull up at your house with a Porsche? I don't know.
Wait, so the question is like red flags that you're like willing to explore? Is that what?
Willing to
This is
explore, or like what you've seen most commonly that like you personally or your friends commonly experience that you guys are like nope.
I think I read one of my friends. He's a guy in SF. Um, okay, this might be a little X-rated, but the red
yes.
flags a little bit
Continue.
R-rated. But he was like, yeah, if a girl likes to get choked, um, bed. He said this verbatim and stands by this holy mantra. If a girl likes to get choked in bed, then she's gonna be fun, but it's going to be a hell of a up and down relationship. And I'm like, your stories prove that. So the only common denominator is you for the red flag, but those stories coming. I love hearing it.
Interesting.
Interesting. Choked in red. Okay, I'm gonna. I'll do my best to keep that in my subconscious. I don't.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what to.
You're not gonna like subconsciously try to choke someone in bed.
Yeah, they'd
Yeah,
be like, and then it'd be like, does she like it? Fuck. I don't know. I'm kidding, obviously, but
Yeah.
That's an interesting philosophy. Is that really a red flag though?
I don't know. He saw it as a plus.
I guess it just
Although
depends on the person, doesn't it? If you're into that kind of
no,
stuff.
the salary thing definitely a red flag because now that I'm recalling it, a
Mhm.
lot of the relationships that I've had that question asked early on
Right.
was always the common thing was like a lot of stinginess on their part, like a lot of oh, you're a strong independent woman, you make this much, we can go halvesies on everything. I'm like, I don't like it to be like Venmo me down to the exact cent. It's more of like I do it for gestures. So the fact that he was very
Mm.
stingy with money, I'm like, oh, like I don't. Yeah, I do care about that responsibly, but I'm like the fact that you have to really emphasize it. It's kind of like, like, do you think I'm a gold digger or like, are you
Yeah.
like a secret millionaire and like you're trying to suss me out? Like, if you have any doubt, like just don't date me, but like don't like ask for that salary. Like everyone's after your gold because it's kind of like. Oh,
Right.
Yeah,
personality cares too, humor. The money thing, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of new money out there and people are very scared of it. I don't know what people think about money. So it's just, yeah.
He just wants to know if you have like a hidden crypto account, man.
Well,
Yo, you mining for that Bitcoin?
I mean, like, as a woman, I'm gonna say that, my money is my money and my husband's money is gonna be mine. So let's just leave it at that. Just
Oh
kidding.
my
We're
god!
this recording.
Red flag, red
I'm
flag.
also,
I'm waving
I'm
that one
also
right
very
now.
okay, I'm actually kidding, but I'm very traditionally Chinese, and I like to make that joke. So
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
know.
You acknowledge it, and
to
I'm all about that. What
just to appease my parents. My boyfriend is a doctor. Kidding. I don't have a boyfriend.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
single as a Pringle.
Uh, what about you,
In
Kemp
case
or
my mom's
Janice?
watching it.
No one,
Yeah.
no one you know is gonna watch my podcast. The
I'm
stream
gonna send it to
died.
my mom, okay?
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
You better start uploading the rest of the
I,
29 episodes in there on.
Hell yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
I told my friends about this.
Oh,
I wanted to tune in.
I'm sorry. That's my fault. That's totally my fault. I apologize
Well,
on everyone on my only
no.
behalf. It's only my fault.
I had a great time here, and I think your podcast is cool.
Thanks. I
Doing
appreciate that.
it, doing it.
Uh,
Yeah.
cool. So Janice or Kemp, what about you guys? Red flags? Anything?
for me, probably when a girl is like openly petty.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That is a fat red flag for me.
Dude, if she's willing to show a little bit of it early on, ooh, you better
that
wait
means
till
she's
later
really
on. Oh
petty.
shit.
Ooh, that's a good one. I actually haven't heard that in a long time because
I have been guilty, yeah. Right, it is a red
Ooh,
flag.
ooh, could I start the Church of Kemp?
Yeah, when they're like privately petty, like like that's like kind of okay, I guess.
Yeah, because
Like
it's like
I'm
you're
willing
being.
I'm willing to get in there because
Ooh,
Oh my
like that's I guess like that's a bit of character. I don't want to like date someone bland.
That's
true,
true.
true.
When they're privately petty, but like when they're like openly petty, that's like self confidence issues.
Yeah. If
Uh,
they're not aware that they're petty, that's um
Nice. I highly respect that one, Kemp. Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be a
ooh,
hard pass for
that was
me.
a good one. Janice, going back to you. What you got? What you got for me?
I guess for me, biggest red flag is just any guy who's trying really hard to flex, or
Or
guys who try to neg you,
what do you mean?
like, um, you know what negging is, right?
No.
It's like when guys insult girls, but like flirt with them that way.
Oh, it's like that grade school teasing type of shit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
So especially, I feel like okay. I mean, obviously, I haven't been single for a while, but if I were single right now and if I were to meet a man at my current age and he negged me, I would just get up and leave because I'd be like, I'm too old for this shit, which means you're too old for this shit. And
I get you. I get you. I get that. I get that.
you know, like if a man is not like mature enough and comfortable enough in himself to have like, to have fun without turning to insults and like grades of behavior, I'm just like, no. I don't care who you are, what you do, what you look like. Like that's an instant turn off.
Yeah.
So that's probably for me.
Very nice.
And also stinginess.
Stinginess.
Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Because I'm not a stingy person. Like I'm okay with I actually like paying for when I was single, I actually liked paying for the guy on the first date just because if I enjoyed the date. If I really hated the date, if a date went badly, I would Venmo a guy exactly half
And she like puts up her own red flag.
of whatever.
I love that.
I Venmo him exactly half because I'd be like, this is me signaling to you that we're never going to meet ever again. Because I want nothing. I don't want to be indebted to you. I don't want you to be indebted to me. I want to cleanly, clearly, immediately cut ties.
Yeah. A
Very
lot of my
nice.
friends do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. Pro tip, guys: if you go on a first date with a girl and she Venmos you exactly, you're not going to see her again.
Oh shit. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, no. No one's ever done that to me. I'm good. I'm good. All right. So, we've gone over about an hour and a half. About hour and a half with technical difficulties. So, with that said, do you guys have any last words, comments, or things you want to leave for anything? Open floor to you guys.
This was fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Love the
Thank you.
conversations we've had. You guys are fun and interesting. I love it.
Yeah, thanks for hosting, Neuron.
I want to know what
Have
happens
another
to.
one.
I want to know what happens to Yoonji's neighbor.
Yeah, I would like to bring up once again my idea of a game show format for special podcast edition. Just saying.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind. You heard it here first, and by heard it here first, it's only us three because we're not live streaming. But you you heard it here first, guys, on YouTube 6 months later after the podcast happens because I still haven't uploaded the past like 7 podcasts. Game show.
Quarantine. What is your excuse?
I still go to the office to work. Okay. And like obviously my internet is not good. Clearly. But I'll try to do it. I'll try to schedule a night where I'll just upload everything on YouTube overnight. But I've had issues where I try to upload multiple podcasts and like half of them don't upload properly for whatever reason, one reason or another. But anyways, yes. Well, I'll keep that in mind. The Neon Game Show. I don't know what the name will actually be called, but something related to Neon podcast. I don't know. Janice might be the producer. Yoonji might be my manager. Who knows? Kemp wants to be kept in the loop of Yoonji's apartment drama. I think
It's not true.
Well, clearly not.
Make it drama.
Oh
Drama?
shit!
It depends on how bored I am in quarantine, but I can make it drama.
It's
Yeah,
just like
why
throw
not?
something on his patio or something, man.
Oh my god. And yeah, anything else? Kemp, is that all you wanted to say?
Yeah, that's it, man.
All right, cool. So once again, I'd like to thank all 3 of you for being on this podcast. Obviously the stream is not live, but if you are watching on YouTube when I eventually upload this, thank you for tuning in. Yoonji's mom, if you're watching this all the way to the end, thank you.
Thank you, Mom. I'll call you later.
Yeah, she'll
Okay.
talk about her stories.
I'll explain later.
You'll with that said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for everyone who's been supporting on the podcast so far. Episode 30. Still got another podcast lined up for next week. Tune in for that one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And once again, if not to end on a good note, to end on a note. You guys stay safe. Love y'all faces, and keep working on yourselves. Keep grinding it out. Yep. Peace.
Later.
Bye.